Running flyers in 2018, is it even still a valid way to do business? We're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Yay! Okay, cool. So today's question and today's answer is brought to us by housecleaning360.com. It's an international database of house cleaning service providers all across the globe. And if you're a house cleaning service provider and you don't have a business fan page, run over there today and set one up so that we can send referrals and business to you. We're going to talk again in just a minute about the reasons why you need a business fan page. But now today's question, which is about running flyers in 2018. All right, when I started my business 25 years ago, almost 26 years ago, we ran flyers. That's how we generated business. And the other way of running business or generating business was running ads in the yellow pages. And so that is how we drummed up business. We didn't have websites. We didn't have email marketing funnels. We didn't have Facebook ads. There was no Facebook. And all of the online media that we now use to market our business did not exist. And so in order for us to drum up business, we ran flyers from door to door in all the neighborhoods. Now, back in the olden days, everybody had newspapers, or they had newspaper boxes that were connected to their mailbox tubes so that you could leave a flyer inside the newspaper box. So for 25 years, we ran flyers. And if I were starting out in the business today, this is going to blow your mind, I would still run flyers. And I would run flyers for this reason. When you start a house cleaning business, you have the very distinct opportunity to target a very narrow market. You get to drive through and look at all the different houses in the neighborhoods, and you get to pick which neighborhood you want to work in. Unless you have purchased into a franchise and you are mandated a particular territory, you can work wherever you want. Okay? If you're not a franchise, you can work wherever you want. So if you go to a particular neighborhood and you see the houses and they're huge and they look overwhelming to you, drive on, go to another neighborhood. Now, if you're doing mass mailing and you're sending out direct mail flyers, you're not going to be able to target that size of house. You can get down to the specifics of how much a house costs, but in different neighborhoods, the houses cost a little bit differently. And so you might end up with an enormous house that's priced very reasonably, and you think it's a much smaller house. And then you get there and it's 3,500 square feet, and you're like, whoa, that's too big for me to clean. So driving through the neighborhoods is going to allow you to see with your eyes, and you can pick which house you want to clean. And there are other clues about the houses. The landscaping, the way that the people care for their homes will clue you in to know whether or not these people care for their homes. Because if they don't care for their yards, it's a pretty good guess that the inside of their home is also going to be a mess. And you're going to have a lot more work than you probably initially bargained for. All right, so what do you put on your flyer? If you're going to run a flyer, what do you put on it? Well, here's the catch. I've been using the same flyer for 25 years. And now in 2018, I have a new flyer. And so there will be links in the show notes to download my new flyer. And here's the catch. The rules of engagement have changed. Back in the olden days, there was nothing called social proof. Yeah, people wanted to do what's popular, but there was no way for them to verify who you are. Today, people will not hire you and bring you into their home unless they verify who you are. And so they want to know not from their neighbor, but they want to know really who you are. And they're going to do a check online. Is this person crude? Are they crass? Are they opinionated? And they're going to look at your Facebook pages, and they're going to look at your social media links, and they're going to look at all the different things that connect you to the person they're about to hire. Do I want to hire this person on a regular, ongoing basis to come inside my home and then only to find out that this person has a prior criminal record, or that this person has other issues that are going on that would be damaging to a household to have you come to their house? So people now, in fact, do their homework. So on your flyer, yes, you need your credentials, you need your contact information, you need what it is you do. I can't tell you how many flyers hit my mailbox and I open it up and I'm guessing it's house cleaning. It didn't say house cleaning on it. There's a name on there and a phone number. I have no idea. There might be a few snippets of things that they offer, and I have to use my deductive reasoning to determine if that's in fact what they do. Come right out and say the words house cleaning. I'm a house cleaner. I'm a maid service. Announce what you do on your flyer. And have an email. There are, believe it or not, still people that use email. And there are people that will pick up the telephone and they will call you. So you got to have a phone number on there as well. Now, what I'm recommending, and we've never done this before, is to have a QR code on your flyer. And the reason being is this. When people go to social media and they do their due diligence and they try to find out who you are, you can direct that conversation. Instead of them just typing in your name and Googling it and having all kind of weird stuff pop up, or your competitors who are using the same name, or someone who's using your same logo or whatever, you don't want them to be misdirected. So if you have a QR code, they can scan that with their smartphone and bam, they're exactly where you want them to be. You just directed the conversation. So back to the House Cleaning 360, we are creating business fan pages. And this is not just a place for ratings and reviews from your customers, but this is where people that have known you for a lifetime can jump in there and give some feedback. It's your fandom. It's like a kingdom, but with your fans. And so the people that you know, the people that you trust, the people that like you, the people that are in online groups with you, they can jump in and say nice things about you. What is really important to me is not just, did they do a great job when they showed up at my house? But somebody's on there and they say, yeah, our kids go to school together and I've known this mother for X amount of years. I go, wait a second, she's a good mom, she's social, it tells a lot of clues about who you are. So having a fandom expands the view, and you're directing that conversation by sending customers and prospects directly to that page. So they're not going to get caught up in the thread of people posting other things on your timeline in Facebook that maybe you didn't approve of, okay? So this is an opportunity for you to direct a conversation. So on your flyer, you do need a QR code, and that's new for 2018. They've been around for a couple of years, but it's mandatory now. So you got to have your name, your contact information, your phone number, your email. If you have a website, that's great. What is it that you're selling? And maybe, okay, this is very crystal clear, maybe you have one logo and maybe you have one special. Don't be announcing 3 and 4 and 5 different specials, because that gets really confusing. And people, instead of calling for the one special, they will call for none of them. And having multiple logos. I've seen lots of flyers with lots of logos. Please don't. Pick one logo. The eyes can only focus on one thing, and they're going to go directly to that logo, and then they're going to look for the expanding information. So don't have 3 logos, don't have 5 logos, have one. And if you're going to have a special, have one special. Now, the rule of advertising is this. On every marketing piece, and we're talking about a flyer, you get to have one offer, one call to action. You don't get to have 3 or 4 or 5, just one. On your next flyer, you can have a different special if you want. Okay, so back to the flyers. How do you deliver flyers if the people do not have newspaper boxes? All right, that's an excellent question, and a lot of people now don't. So you have to get creative. And it might be that you use door hangers instead of a flyer. And it might be that you tuck it inside the rim of the door. It might be that you tape it to the handle or the stick that the mailbox hangs on. You can't actually tape it or attach it to the mailbox, nor can you put it inside, because the mailbox is federal property. And if you get caught putting flyers inside someone's mailbox, even if you put it on the outside of their mailbox or you tape it to their mailbox, you can be caught, and all your contact information is on the flyer, so they will catch you. And then for everyone that they find, they will fine you, and you have to pay regular postage for that. So it can be enormous if you run lots and lots of flyers. But the stick that the box comes on usually has a newspaper box or something. You can tape something to that. You can rubber band it to it. I mean, you have to get creative if you're running flyers. But you get to pick what neighborhoods you work in, and you get to pick what your flyer says. And you get to pick where the customers go to find the social proof to determine whether or not you're a good fit for their family. So yes, flyers are still an amazing way to generate business because it's very specific. Very specific. This is not like putting flyers on cars in a parking lot, and then the cars go to all different places, and now they call you and they live 30 miles away, but they happen to be visiting this part of town the day they got the flyer. You don't want that. You want it specifically to a neighborhood because that is specifically where you want to work. Alrighty, that's my 2 cents for today. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.